Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Friday morning the 23rd of August and we're sticking with the Madeline Soto case again today with some horrendous and intriguing details coming out about the case against Stephan Sterns. I don't think many people who watch my channel are still following this case based on the views I'm getting. I'm just going to carry on with this case because it's both incredibly disturbing, but also there's some fascinating aspects. I want to go forward in time to April, where there were continued interviews with Jenn Soto, Madeline's mother. I've got to go through all of the discovery again, the 800 and odd pages that were released a little while ago, and then all the new stuff that's come out, because I'm starting to fit some pieces together. So, with all that said, let's go. I'm going to go to April in a few minutes, but let's start at ground zero. We know that Madeline was reported missing on February 26th, when her mother went to pick her up from school and she wasn't there. When I went through the discovery, the 800 and odd pages that was released, I called it the Sterns files, and I read the entire document into the record of my channel. And there was an interesting detail about a cadaver dog alerting on Jenn's car, and I couldn't understand that. Well, it appears that Jenn's car possibly went to the crime scene. Let's read this. February 27th, 2024, 3:18. Jenn's vehicle is seen driving east on Highway 192 through Kissimmee to St. Cloud, Florida. The vehicle takes the same exact path as Stephan. At 3:35 hours, Jennifer's vehicle is seen driving south on Old Hickory Tree Road from Highway 192. The vehicle is then seen again turning west on Highway 192 from Old Hickory Tree Road at 4:09 hours. So, who returned to the crime scene? Was it Stephan driving Jenn's car? Or did he take Jenn? Was it Jenn? Was Jenn in there? Will we ever know? But that's possibly why there was a cadaver dog hit on Jenn's vehicle. I couldn't understand that at the time. I think I do now. Now, a lot of new interviews have come out. So, briefly discussed yesterday, police interview with Jenn Soto. But I think even more fascinating than that interview was that of Stephan's parents, Chris and Debbie, I think his mother's name is. How long-suffering they are. Chris Sterns, who is a former Osceola County Sheriff's deputy, was very scathing of Stephan and Jennifer. He said that Jenn was a bad influence on Stephan, but he didn't do what many parents do and try to defend their offspring. Quite to the contrary. He said that he didn't trust Stephan. He questioned how trustworthy anything Stephan said would be. He's quoted as saying, "He spent a lifetime lying to us. It's just never gotten better." And he's long suffering because he seems to be paying for everything, even Jenn and Stephan's rent, stating that they just slept all the time, totally irresponsible, in and out of jobs. Stephan just behaved like a child. It says here, "Before I left the house the other night, I turned to my wife and I said, 'Do we really know Stephan? Can we honestly say we really know him?'" However, Jenn trusted him. In one interview, she's quoted as saying that she didn't trust him at first with Madeline, but he won her over. It was fine for Madeline and Stephan to sleep together. Stephan's parents were very concerned about the sleeping arrangements, with Madeline being far too old to sleep in a bed with Stephan. They've not shied away from understanding Stephan's guilt, unlike Jenn, who says that the sex stuff is not evil. Anyone would think that Jenn knew about it. Now, as I spoke about yesterday, Police sources have told one news channel that there's going to be no charges against Jenn. They can't pin her down to anything, and I don't think that's because she's a criminal mastermind. She certainly isn't. She's got a childlike brain as well. Now, Stephan's parents saying that Jenn was a bad influence, speculating that maybe it was Jenn who murdered Madeline, that caught Madeline and Stephan together, and she freaked out and she murdered Madeline. I can't see that, honestly. I think that was just talking, just speculating. I can't see that, honestly. The reason being, Jenn seemed to be quite comfortable with the relationship between Madeline and Stephan. She's just thrown her daughter to the wolves. She's just thrown her daughter to him. She didn't want to do the sex stuff, but yet at the same time, she wanted to keep Stephan happy, maybe. And she just fed her daughter to him. That's how the new information could be put together. An incident report written by an Orange County Sheriff's Office deputy says Jenn Soto, interviewed on March the 1st, this was after Stephan had been arrested, Jenn Soto continually protected Stephan. When she was questioned why she prioritises Stephan over Madeline, at one point she said, the sex stuff's not evil, but the murder was evil. Quoting here, Jennifer Soto did not show the same level of emotion or care at Madeline's ongoing victimization by Stephan Sterns than she did her disappearance. It appears to me that she has already accepted that the victimization was happening and her emotion appeared fictitious. During one interview, she said she didn't notice anything unusual going on between Maddie and Stephan, but said Madeline recently told him she had a crush on a boy. I speculate as to whether that is why he murdered Madeline, because he was jealous. That's just my interpretation, just a possible, because what's the motivation of him killing his plaything? Chris Sterns said that his son is volatile, that when he was staying there at their house, they had to tiptoe around him. He was awake all night, slept all day, but if they woke him up just doing kind of normal things around the house, or the dogs woke him up, they have a number of dogs, then he was very volatile. They didn't say that he was violent, but they tiptoed around him. But yet Chris Sterns continued to pay for everything for him. So I think Chris is under no illusion about what his son is like and about how just childlike he is. I mean, it might explain if Sustanet, that Reddit account, really is Stephan, why he appeared to gravitate towards teenagers, solving people's problems like a teenager. Maybe that's why he gravitated towards Madeline, just kind of same mental age. We can say that about quite a lot of pedos, actually, that they're very childlike. They get on better with children. They've somehow got stuck at an age that the brain hasn't developed any further. I don't know. Because so much is coming out, because this is Florida, the Sunshine State, it's a lot to take in. But let's go to April. We've heard some of the jail phone calls between Chris and Stephan, and I think, just my speculation, that Chris is working with the cops to get as much information out of Stephan as possible. On 4/10/24, so 10th of April, 14:53 hours, Stephan calls Chris Sterns. Nearly 13 minutes into the call, Stephan tells Chris, "You know that I would never wanted that for her," meaning Madeline. Stephan then says, "I'm not sure really that any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination of factors that led to it. I have never felt anything like that before. It was horrible." Chris tells Stephan that he hopes the truth will come out, and Stephan responds, "Well, yeah," as if he's dodging that statement. The call was downloaded and submitted into evidence. Now, Stephan was finally arrested for murder at the end of April. But April 11th, 2024, this detective here received a message from Chris stating he had an update regarding the case. I contacted Chris by phone, who stated he was cleaning out the storage unit he had on Executive Avenue. Chris stated he opened one of the storage bins and located a hard drive that would normally be housed in a desktop computer. In the same storage bin, Chris located a watch that Stephan previously told Chris during a phone call from the Osceola County Jail was in his bedroom. Chris stated Stephan must have gained access to the storage unit when he made a trip to Northport on 2/28/24. I told Chris that I would have a detective from Northport contact him to arrange a time to review the hard drive. Chris previously stated he witnessed Stephan using his desktop computer on 2/24/24, so that's 2 days before the murder, and he never gained access to the residence after leaving to Kissimmee on 2/25/24. It appears that Stephan had intentionally removed the hard drive from his computer in an attempt to conceal the contents. So that's 2 days before the murder. So was he intending to murder Madeline? Was it a crime of passion that he just blew up because Madeline told him she didn't want to do stuff anymore? Or was this planned? The fact that he removed this hard drive from the computer 2 days before makes you think, doesn't it? On April the 12th, I drove to Northport Police Department to receive the items that Chris provided to detectives. There was a hard drive that appeared to be removed from a desktop computer and 2 other USB drives. A search warrant will be obtained. So they got a search warrant from the judge on April 15th. On April 17th, the Honourable Judge John Michael Murphy signed the search warrant to obtain the iCloud records from Apple for Jenn and Madeline. Took them to April to do that. The search warrant was submitted to Apple. On April 18th, at approximately 8:30 in the morning, Jennifer and her attorney, Matthews Bark, arrived at the Kissimmee Police Department. So this is an interview in April. So they've really gone at Jenn. They've really worked Jenn. And I don't think she's a master criminal. I think the police know full well that she knew. So I've changed my view because I've been thinking maybe Jenn knew nothing, that Jenn was so naive that she just believed Stephan was okay. But no. She knew. She knew, and she was okay with it. That's disgusting. How the police have not charged her with anything. Again, like I said yesterday, it's not what you know, what you suspect, it's what you can prove. Get her on the stand and she'll just deny anything. And if they've no evidence to the contrary, no actual hard evidence to the contrary, then it's just their speculation. Anyway, on April 18th, Jenn and her attorney arrived at Kissimmee Police Department based on an investigative subpoena that was issued by the State Attorney's Office. Due to technical issues with State Attorney Will Jay's computer, the interview was moved to the State Attorney's Office at the Osceola County Courthouse. The interview was led by State Attorney Will Jay. Will placed Jennifer under oath, who swore to tell the truth during the interview. Will asked Jennifer if she was working on the night of 2/25/24 at Disney, and she stated yes, and she got home at approximately 10:30. Jenn stated when she got home, Stephan and Madeline were the only people downstairs. Jenn could not remember what either Stephan or Madeline were wearing when she got home from work. Will asked Jennifer if she remembered if Madeline was wearing a green sweatshirt when she got home, and she said no, she was not wearing that. Jenn stated Madeline would be wearing whatever clothes she would be sleeping in. Jenn could not remember what time Stephan got to the residence. Jennifer stated that she was in her bedroom with Stephan and Madeline for approximately 30 minutes before she sent them upstairs to go to bed. Will asked Jennifer why Stephan wasn't invited to the party. So this is the birthday party, and she stated because her mother doesn't get along with Stephan. So I think the parents of both Jenn and Stephan knew how toxic this relationship was, and Madeline stuck right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of it. Why did no one do anything? Jennifer stated she instructed Madeline to take her nighttime medication when she got home, which Jennifer states she allowed Madeline to do from time to time. So drugging her now. Take your nighttime medication before you go and sleep with a monster. What, hoping that she's going to just sleep through it? Oh, man. Seriously. Jenn stated Madeline takes hydroxyzine and Miralax. Hydroxyzine is it's an antihistamine, but makes you sleepy. Jenn stated since Madeline had been staying with her mother, she hadn't been taking the Miralax consistently. Will asked Jennifer if Madeline normally sets out her clothes the night before and if she makes the decision in the morning. Jenn stated the decision is typically made in the morning. Jenn stated since she knew Stephan was going to be taking Madeline to school, she asked her to set out clothes to have everything ready to go. Jenn didn't know if Madeline took clothes with her upstairs to Stephan's bedroom. Jenn states she does not have any further communication with Stephan or Madeline after that last text from Stephan stating Madeline had built her nest. The next time Jennifer sees Stephan, when he's trying to put the leash on the dog on the morning of 2/26. Jenn states she does not use her phone or get up during the night because she was sleeping the entire night. Jenn confirmed that she only got up out of bed when Stephan was trying to put the leash on the dog. Stephan told her to go back to bed. So when did he take the body out? Will asked Jennifer if Madeline had come to her room to tell her goodbye when she left for school. Jenn stated she would have hoped she would have. Well, you would have hoped she would have, but she didn't because she was already dead. Jenn said she was woken up by her alarm clock at 9 o'clock. Jenn stated she didn't remember if she saw anyone that morning, but she thinks she may have seen one of her roommates. Well, she previously said that she heard noises, that she heard people talking, and she thought that was Madeline. So they've gone through the entire day again, looking for discrepancies, and she's told the same story again and again and again, with some minor deviations, but not enough. Not enough to really catch her in a big enough lie that could stick. Will asked Jenn if Madeline ever had side effects of the hydroxyzine, and she said if Madeline took her medication later than normal, she would feel sluggish. Will then asked Jenn why she let Stephan stay in the home after they'd ended their relationship. Jenn stated she considered Stephan as one of her best friends, so she wanted to keep him around. She wanted to keep him sweet, so she threw her daughter to him. That's my view now. That's just my view. Jennifer said she didn't want to see him revert back to his mental health issues like he had previously. Will then asked Jenn about Madeline's sleeping habits. Jenn stated Madeline would sleep with her a majority of the time, and when Stephan began staying there, the three of them would sleep in the same bed. Jenn stated Madeline never wanted to sleep alone in her bedroom. Jenn couldn't remember how many times she left Madeline to sleep with Stephan alone in his bedroom. Jenn stated she allowed it because she trusted Stephan and he treated her like his daughter. Even so, why would she want to sleep with Stephan? Because she'd been so indoctrinated, so well groomed, so normalised. Disgusting. When Jennifer stated she and Stephan ended their relationship, Madeline had an idea but never spoke about it. Jenn said she spoke with Stephan about possibly moving back to help him get on his feet, but she didn't know if it was going to be permanent or temporary. Will asked Jennifer if she knew that Madeline was being abused by Stephan prior to the interview at the Orange County Sheriff's Office, and she said no. Will stated Jennifer texted Madeline's father about not wanting her to be filmed underneath bathroom doors. Will stated Jennifer texted Madeline's father about not wanting her to be filmed underneath bathroom doors. Jennifer stated she had just heard a story about someone filming in bathrooms on an airplane. Jennifer was asked why Stephan didn't take her car to take Madeline to school, and she said that Stephan was not on her insurance, so she didn't want to take the risk. But yet, on the 27th, that vehicle was right there at the crime scene, and a cadaver dog alerted on that vehicle, who went back to the crime scene in Jennifer's car. Will asked Jenn again if she'd ever seen Madeline the morning of the 26th of Feb, and she said not. Jennifer also stated she didn't know about how she died. I asked Jennifer how many times Stephan came to Kissimmee after he moved out, and she said 2 to 3 times, which is consistent with what Chris said as well. On April 24th, the case was brought before grand jury and Stephan Sterns was indicted on first-degree premeditated murder. April 30th, the Honourable Judge Vincent Chu signed search warrants for Madeline's paediatrician and gastroenterologist doctors. The supplement will be provided. Well, there's so much more to talk about in this case, so much more to unpick, but I'm getting a slightly better view of what actually went down. So many questions remain. But Jenn Soto, what a mother. What a mother. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts on this disgusting pair of individuals, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.